NK Telco Sports welcomes you to our coverage of high school basketball, where the Fort Recovery Indians will take on the New Bremen Cardinals. Tonight's game is brought to you by the following sponsors: First National Bank, Keyhole Pizza, Precision Strip, Winners Meats, Grand Lake Health Systems, Speedway Lanes, and NK Telco. I'm Dave Helmstetter. With me tonight, Jeff Henchen. Midwest Athletic Conference basketball, the New Bremen Cardinals, the home team on senior night, up against the Fort Recovery Indians of head coach Bob Leverett. Indians come into tonight's play 7-14, 1-7 in MAC play. Cardinals, on the other hand, 8-13 and 3-5 in league play. And when you look at the Cardinals, they've lost 3 games in a row. That's followed after winning 3 games in a row, which kind of signifies the way their season has gone, up and down. Then when you look at the big picture, Jeff, 9 losses by less than 5 points. We were talking about beforehand, you change a few of those games around, and it's altogether different for New Bremen on a one-loss basis.
Exactly. I mean, you've got those games where they've had leads in the fourth quarter, and it's a game of basketball. It just frustrates you because you look back at those and you say, boy, if we did this or we hit that, you know, we have a chance of winning that game. And then you mentioned 9 of those games are basically winnable. That builds a lot of confidence when you start knocking down some wins early on and getting those where you can finish the game. That's probably their biggest hiccup right now, is just being able to play a good 32 minutes, or maybe their best 32 minutes at the end, or the best of the 32 minutes at the end, and they just haven't been able to maybe capitalize on some opportunities that, you know, they had shots at. So do you want to be blown out of every game, or do you want to have a chance to win a lot of games? And that's what the Cardinals have been, and a chance to win a lot. And
when you look at the statistics for the New Bremen Cardinals, the thing that just pops at you is the 55% at the free throw line, which is 10th in the MAC.
And there's a reason why. That's a factor you can always look at and talk about, and they've struggled there this year. Fort Recovery is at 56, so we probably have the 9th and 10th ranked teams in the MAC free throw shooting. But yeah, the Cardinals, easy stat to look at. Boy, if we knock down some free throws, we maybe win some more games. So that'll be a good key that they'll try to work on here tonight and into the tournament run.
And it's kind of funny. You look at the Cardinals, and they have a 2.5 winning margin, which is pretty unusual when you have a 8-13 record, which shows you how close the games have been this season. Fort Recovery, on the other hand, they come into tonight's game averaging 43.6 points per game, and their margin is a negative 6.3. It's a mixture of young and experienced players on the Fort Recovery team.
They rotated the lineup over a little bit here. I haven't seen them play a lot. I saw them play New Knoxville last week, and it was a close MAC win, their first of the season against New Knoxville. But yeah, they really changed things up here. They have some youngsters coming up, getting some varsity time, so they're trying to mix a lot of guys in and still, you know, find a way to win, but definitely a different team than what they were at the first part of the season, and trying to build upon some success here late as they head into tournaments.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem from the Nest in New Bremen.
Hometown Opportunity serves Mercer County, Auglaize County, Darke County, and Shelby County.
The website as a whole is pretty user-friendly. I was able to filter down my options, see what types of jobs were out there for me in the area.
It really opened up my eyes to the employer market around here.
We know that our local candidates, a lot of times, are most successful candidates because they want to come here and stay.
It's become the go-to site for anybody looking for a job in the region.
Nice rendition of our national anthem by the senior members of the New Bremen Choir here on senior night, fitting tribute, as we'll be introducing the starting lineups here in just a moment. Fort Recovery, as we said, come into tonight's play 7-14. New Bremen 8-13. And, you know, both these two teams getting ready for tournament. We'll talk about more of that in our broadcast, and possible scenarios with that, which could be really intriguing and make this game a little bit more important than perhaps it may seem at the end of this season.
Almost maybe what do you show the other team tonight, because you might be playing them again.
That's correct.
A week from tonight at the same place. So that is burn a trailer up, or that is burn a teaser, Dave. But we'll talk about it later.
We'll talk about it later when we got a little bit more time, because it should be kind of an intriguing thing as you study the tournament bracket just a little bit more. Now the starting lineup for the Fort Recovery Indians, a junior at 6'1", Briggs Overman, averaging 9.1 points per game. Number 3, Reese Guggenbiller, a 6'1" senior, averaging 5.1 points per game. Another senior, number 10 at 6 foot, Troy Holman. And a senior at 6'4", number 12, Rex Leverett. 9th in the MAC and rebounds at 5.6. And number 23, Gavin Fowler, another senior at 6'3", averaging 5.8 points per game. That's the starters for the Fort Recovery Indians tonight under head coach Bob Leverett. And the lights go down as we introduce the New Bremen Cardinals. Number 2, a senior guard, Aaron Tiemann, averaging 10.5 points per game, second in the MAC with 49 steals. Jackson Lenartz, number 3, number 8 in the MAC in rebounding at 5.6 rebounds. Number 5, Keaton Putoff. Zach Wiedemann in the starting lineup. We got another senior for the Cardinals. And number 22, Hayden Zeller, 6'5", senior, averaging 7.4 points per game. And Henry Nelson, number 34, a senior, averaging 4.2 points per game. I just added one more senior in the lineup,
yeah,
so we'll see how they do.
But they all got announced, so.
Let's take a look at our keys to the game tonight, all brought to you by Keyhole Pizza.
Well, the Fort Recovery Indians, they want to limit their turnovers against a very lengthy zone 1-3-1 press the Cardinals will apply. They also want to contest New Bremen three-point shooters and also stop New Bremen's dribble drive penetration into the paint. For New Bremen, simply put, for Coach Stevenson, or Coach Stevens, they want to rebound, which they've done well over the years. They want to play with a lot of energy, and they got to be able to execute on both ends of the court, and in particular, knock down some free throws.
And the tip goes to the Fort Recovery Indians. Our keys to the game tonight brought to you by Keyhole Pizza. Fort Recovery on the attack first.
And Keaton Putoff is one of the 6 seniors not on the court. So
he's the one we added, I think.
He drew the short straw or the unlucky number.
Outside 3 by Briggs Overman. He'll connect.
His 10th make of the season, just an 18% three-point shooter, but a good start for Briggs Overman and the Indians on their first possession.
Tiemann with the basketball. Zeller will have it. Over to Wiedemann. Zach Wiedemann, 6 foot, senior guard. Nelson back over to Tiemann. Inside to Zeller. He'll lose the basketball. Turnover New Bremen, picked up by Troy Holman. Down court, there's the 3 by Guggenbiller. Shot no good. Lenartz, as we indicated early, pretty good rebounder. Pulls it in. Outlet pass too strong, and that's a New Bremen turnover.
2 possessions, 2 turnovers for the Cardinals. A rough start for their offense, but early in the basketball game as for recovery, though. Now 1 for 2 from three-point range in both their attempts. They made their first one, missed the last one. Just a 23% shooting team from three-point range, so you don't expect the Indians to shoot a lot or make a lot. They haven't done so this season. This will be their 3rd shot already.
Guggenbiller's shot's a little bit short. Ball goes out of bounds off of Leverett, and New Bremen will have it.
Guggenbiller, though, is their better three-point shooter on the team at 32%. One of the players above the 30% mark for the Indians.
Looking at that half-court defense of Fort Recovery. Cardinals patiently move it across the timeline. Tiemann will handle it. Nelson. Back out front, Wiedemann. Tiemann is going to go inside to Lenartz. Tiemann will take the three, and Aaron Tiemann connects. Nothing but net.
He's a pretty good shooter from that range, 35%. That's his 29th make and 80 attempts this season. Again, 35% for the 6-foot senior. Pretty good percentage from three-point range.
Good enough to be in the top 10 in the MAC. At number 10, we're tied at 3-all on the First National Bank Think First scoreboard. Holman into the lane, shot no good. Rebound up and in by number 23, Gavin Fowler.
Nice move by Holman, a little bit of acrobatics, but a good follow by Fowler. Second chance points.
Lenartz, boy, he looked good on that one. Nice move inside, and Jackson Lenartz has a bucket.
Made it look pretty easy. He comes in averaging just under 10 points a game for the 6'4" senior, and Cardinals tie it back up. So we've had somewhat of a decent start here offensively. Some teams getting some offensive action, but New Bremen, again, 2 turnovers in their first 2 possessions, have answered back with a 3 and a 2 in possessions 3 and 4.
Holman's just going to hang on to the basketball. Cardinals going to make a couple subs here in just a moment.
Coach Leverett talked about limiting the turnovers. Nice acrobatic move by Overman. But Fort Recovery wants to make sure they stay good ball movement against New Bremen's half-court defense.
Overman's basket puts Fort Recovery into the lead at 7-5.
Ooh.
Contact inside.
Leverett's down.
Wiedemann pushes it over to the right side.
Henry Nelson.
Henry Nelson connects. What, 6 out of 12 from three-point land for Nelson?
It is now.
That's pretty good. Henry gets the shot, and New Bremen has the lead. Ball on the floor. Wiedemann. Timeout, New Bremen. They'll take a 30-second timeout. Give us an opportunity to remind you that tonight's game here on NK Telco Sports will be viewed on the NKT.TV app on channel 151 on February the 26th at 6 p.m. and on channel 3 and 503 March the 8th at noon, March the 9th at 10 a.m. And you can also watch games live via pay-per-view through nktelco.com/sports and more games on demand through YouTube, Facebook, and at nktelco.com/sports. I want to thank our live view sponsor for tonight's game, and that is Speedway Lanes. Timeout, of course, brought to you by Precision Strip. Cardinals with the basketball.
Rogan Muther, original or usual starter, I should say, on the court. And also number 22 for the Cardinals. Well, Zeller has been. Who else came in? Oh, it's Putoff, number 5. Keaton Putoff 5 and 15, Rogan Muther on the court now for the Cardinals.
With the basketball is Putoff. He'll get it back over to Lenartz. Lenartz wants to move into the lane. Short jumper doesn't fall through, and Fowler gets the rebound.
New Bremen's first missed shot of the ball game. Now 3 for 4 of the Cardinals. There's a half-court trapping defense. Got some lengthy, athletic guys that can really congest the half court when you use the over and back line, the sideline. When you trap, you can really make it very difficult for the ball handler to find open space.
Holman's going to handle the basketball out front. Fort Recovery will be patient. They'll get it inside to Fowler. Fowler shot no good, a rebound. Comes down to Zeller. Outlet pass to Muther. Muther wants to go inside. Short turnaround jumper, no good. Troy Holman will grab the rebound.
Zeller blocked the last shot at the end of the court by, was it Zeller that blocked
He
it
did.
and rebounded it?
Yes, Zeller in on the play on both ends of the court. 2 minutes, 35 seconds to go. Muther will come out. That creates the motion to the right side. Overman, shot no good. And a rebound comes down to Lenartz. Tiemann will try his second three. Shot no good. Put off is there. He'll get it back into Zeller, trying to feed Lenartz. Ball tipped away. New Bremen turnover.
Their third of the quarter. Can't take advantage of the offensive rebound.
Guggenbiller.
Didn't want to take the mid-range jumper, did he?
Nope, he did not. Shot inside by Fowler.
4 points now for Fowler. Good shot there by Fowler off the glass. 4 points. He averages just under 6.
More subs about to come into the game. That's one thing we anticipate, a lot of substituting. It's going to be a turnover by New Bremen as Zeller watching the baseline, and Fort Recovery will have the basketball. Breaker Judy, number 30. He's a freshman.
Also number 14, Gavin Evers for the Indians.
He's a junior. Quite a few freshmen now listed on, a couple of freshmen we should say, or 3 freshmen listed on the varsity roster for Fort Recovery. We saw Grant Fortman in the junior varsity game. He had 22.
And for New Bremen coming in was number 14, Grant Dickey. And 21, Gavin Qualhorst. And 24, Rylan Bussey. So New Bremen's already played well with the seniors, about 10 players already.
They played just about all but 2 players on the roster. 2 players listed on my roster.
Yes.
Let's put it that way.
Leave it at that. We'll just,
short jumper, no good by Overman. Rebound comes down to Quellhorst. Put off. Muther will handle it. Bussey. Long 3. There it is. Gavin Quellhorst.
You mentioned long distance. He had that was just inside the spike line. It looked like a couple feet. So definitely from range, a long range shot by Quellhorst.
That gives New Bremen the lead. That's over and back right in front of us here.
Quellhorst has 8 triple made in the varsity action, 7 of 27 coming into tonight's game for the sophomore. Hit number 8 and has given Bremen a 2-point lead with just under 3 seconds to play.
Brody Bargy will come back in. Will come into the lineup. See what the Cardinals do. Muther puts it up. Nice block by Oberman. That's going to end our first quarter of play. Our score, New Bremen 11, Fort Recovery 9. You're watching high school basketball on NK Telco Sports.
Carriage Works has expanded and now can hold up to 25 cars in our service bay. Carriage Works thrives on customer satisfaction. We accomplish that by providing top-of-the-line technology. Carriage Works now uses a laser beam system to measure down to the millimeter of factory specs to better service you and get you back on the road. Carriage Works has a brand new top-of-the-line paint booth that uses waterborne paint. There's no job too big or too small for Carriage Works. We are certified collision specialists. Come in and see us today.
New Bremen with the basketball as we begin the second quarter. 2-point lead for the Cardinals after the first 8 minutes complete.
Cardinals hit on 4 of 8 from the field. They were 1 of 4 2-point shooting. A very impressive 3 of 4 3-point shooting by 3 different players. Nelson, Quellhorst, and Tiemann, all with 3-pointers.
Quellhorst fires one up from deep. Shot no good, and the rebound comes down to Fort Recovery.
Fort Recovery first quarter shooting. They were 4 of 10, 3 of 7 2-point shooting, 1 of 3 from 3-point range. Neither team attempted a free throw.
Fort Recovery looking at that zone defense the Cardinals like. To the baseline goes Guggenbiller. He'll get it back out to Troy Holman.
Mentioned in the keys of the game about New Bremen's half court, what Coach Leverett called it 1-3-1. Now it looks more like just a kind of a 2-3. Nonetheless, it's a pretty lengthy zone defense. They cover a lot of ground and just, I don't know, they've done that for the past couple years. It just made it kind of difficult to move the ball against because of their length and their athleticism, and they got a lot of players that can usually play pretty aggressive and go after it.
And it's a good defense to try and get a trap as well and create that havoc in the backcourt.
And you'll see that occasionally. That's the first foul. Is that the first foul of the game?
That is. We're moving along quickly.
I thought the first quarter kind of went quick, and I can't say that I really saw, quote, any fouls that should have been called. It was just kind of some three-point shooting and a
deliberate style here.
Yeah.
Fort Recovery's making sure they get the shot. Turnaround is the freshman, number 32, Brody Bargy.
maybe got a bonus hop when he caught the basketball, but happened quick enough. Turnover wasn't called. Bargy with his first points of the basketball game.
He'll come up with the steal, and Fort Recovery's Troy Holman brings it across the timeline, gets it inside to Bargy. He's going to have to chase it down, but that's a Fort Recovery turnover.
Turnover for turnover. The Bremen now with 5, Fort Recovery with 3.
Tied at 11. Tiemann. Quellhorst goes inside. Shot no good, and the rebound comes down to Gavin Avers.
You know, walk it up. He said deliberate. They've been not in a hurry to try to run with the Cardinals. It's been play at Fort Recovery's pace. And basically, as long as they can score and stay in the ball game, they can continue to slow it down and not have to force the issue. I think New Bremen would like to force it and get into a little bit more of a track meet.
I think you're right. But Fort Recovery with the basketball, 5 minutes, 35 seconds to go, tied at 11. Lots of subs going to come in on the next dead ball. Holman back over to Bargy. Bargy dumps it inside, and Breaker Judy, another one of the freshmen, seen a lot of playing time.
Classmate to classmate. And kind of a, excuse me, I don't think that Judy realized he was so open, and Bargy got it to him, and kind of a shovel pass that worked, and Judy scores the basket.
Tiemann wants to get it inside to Leonards. He'll put the ball on the floor. Instead, he'll find Rylan Bussey, and Bussey unable to hang on to it. New Bremen turnover. Put off, and Muther come into the lineup. And
for Fort Recovery, I know that 12, Rex Leverett came back in, and maybe also 23, Gavin Fowler. Overman just about to get trapped. 10 seconds.
10 seconds.
A little quick there, but it was very deliberate. So I was just about ready to say they're being very cautious of the half-court line because they know that that's where the Bremen wants them to go. And the Bremen almost didn't let them go there, but instead forced a 10-second violation.
And the way New Bremen had their defense position, it might have resulted in a turnover in the next second or two.
Yeah, at least for the Indians, it's a dead ball turnover.
Oh my, Jackson Leonards tries it out from behind the arc and connects. 32% shooter.
Hit his 21st, so the 6'4 seniors attempted now 64 shots from that range on the season, making, as you said, 32%.
Fort Recovery turns it over. 1 point New Bremen lead. Put off. 3 no good. Bargy with a rebound. And number 12, Leverett, will bring it up court. Overman. Back over to Leverett as they move it quickly around. Overman. Holman. Kind of feels like Briggs Overman makes a team move here. Going to be a turnover on the baseline?
Yes, just a travel violation, or New Bremen's defense just not letting anything happen easily, and back-to-back turnovers here for the Indians. They've had now 4 turnovers in the second quarter. We've played just over half of it. They have 6 in the ball game, but here recently not been able to get many shots off because of the turnovers.
Put off. Lenartz pops in and out. Rebound comes down to Leverett. He'll bring it up court. He'll go left side. Back over to Troy Holman. Holman inside move, shot no good. Bargy with the rebound, puts it up and in. Brody Bargy with the basket.
2 offensive rebounds in the ball game for the Indians. Both they've converted for baskets.
Muther comes back with the 3, and it's 17-15.
Muther, big answer for him. That's his 11th made three-pointer on the season. Kind of answers back that Fort Recovery offensive rebound. As I said, just a second of the game. They've turned them both into points.
Leverett, nothing but net. And we're tied at 17 all on that First National Bank Think First scoreboard. Zeller. Tiemann goes behind the arc, gets it back into Zeller. Zeller will make a turnaround move. Shot doesn't go. Leonard has a hand on it, but it comes back out to Gavin Fowler.
Indians have done a nice job not allowing New Bremen to many offensive rebounds. It's 1 offensive rebound. That was back in the first quarter. New Bremen couldn't take advantage of it, so good one and dones for the Fort Recovery defense.
Timeout on the floor. Timeout's brought to you by Precision Strip. 30-second timeout by Fort Recovery as they want to discuss some things, like to thank our sponsors for tonight's broadcast: First National Bank, Keyhole Pizza, Precision Strip, Winners Meats, Grand Lake Health Systems, Speedway Lanes, and NK Telco. Live View sponsor for tonight, Speedway Lanes. Others bringing you tonight's broadcast from the Nest in New Bremen: Carriage Works, Chiltech LLC, Cy Schwederman, Dickman Supply, Elmwood Assisted Care, Hometown Opportunity, Hillsman Automotive, Kogi Plumbing and Heating, Lincoln Electric, Minster Bank, New Knoxville Supply, SecureCom, Butts Chrysler Dodge Jeep, Crown Equipment, Shelby County Veteran Services, St. Henry Bank, and WCSM Radio. Fort Recovery with the basketball. Bargy, boy, what a pass. Shot no good. Lenartz will get the rebound. That was an outstanding pass.
Nice maybe set up play by design, although unfortunately Leverett couldn't get either of his shots to drop, but good ball movement. Kind of caught a gap or found a gap in the Bremen zone defense. High percentage shot, but it comes up zeros for the Indians offense.
Out front, Lenartz.
Might have got fouled.
I think he got fouled. It looked like the
definitely
defender
contact.
Moved into him.
Yeah. Results in the
Of course,
rebound.
then you say, well, did it affect the shot? And I go, yes, it was about 2 feet short.
Yeah, something made that shot come up odd, and I think the contact definitely was part of it. Another nice bounce pass.
Bargy up and in. He's got 6.
Yeah, all here in the second quarter. A nice assist. Oh, who threw it to him? I'm trying to think, was it maybe it was a pass from Guggenbiller, but that was a sharp, crisp bounce pass, and give Bargy good credit for finding the gap in the open defense against the Cardinals. Made it for a really easy pass.
Cardinals turn it over, and Tim Bargy makes the catch over in the corner there. There's the 3, Briggs Overman, and suddenly it's a 2.
Oh, no, it was a 3. I meant that was
3.
his second 3 of the game.
Second 3.
Yeah, and he's 18% shooter coming in. He's 2 for 2. And more importantly, a 5-point lead now for the Indians.
Overman's got 8. There's the open put-off, and Tiemann finds him.
And there was something happened. When you say open, that was an understatement.
Wide open.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you for the adjective, because that explained exactly what happened.
He ran the cut, and no one came with him.
Yeah, somehow the defense followed the wrong guy, and Keaton put off beneficiary his first bucket of the game for the senior, averaging 10 points.
Guggenbiller tries to get it inside, and they'll turn it over. Cardinals with 39 seconds can tie it with that shot. Doesn't fall, so it's still a Fort Recovery lead. Muther makes the move inside. Nice move, partially blocked there by Overman. Back out. Here comes the 3. Shot no good there by Bussey, but Putoff will come down with it. And Bussey is fouled.
Long extended possessions due to offensive rebound. I mentioned just moments ago how Fort Recovery had done a nice job keeping the Bremen off the offensive glass, but this will be now I'm pretty sure they're about their 4th attempt.
Putoff puts the shot up, gets his own rebound, puts it up again, and very persistent Keaton Putoff and he gets the basket.
That's what you say, taking advantage of the offensive rebounds. They had about 5 shots.
Briggs Overman slips inside for the easy bucket and the lead to 3. And the shot just off target, so we go to the locker room with the score. Fort Recovery 24, New Bremen 21. We'll come back with our halftime stats brought to you by Grand Lake Health Systems. You're watching high school basketball on NK Telco Sports.
At First National Bank, we are working hard to make your life a little easier. With products like Card Valet, an app allowing you to control your cards with real-time notifications, transaction restrictions, and spending limits. The ability to access your money through 55,000 all-point ATMs across the country, surcharge-free. Live customer support when you need it, and online and mobile banking, allowing you to gain access to your financial information wherever and whenever you like. First National Bank, making your life a little easier.
Here at halftime, our score, Fort Recovery leads by 3 points, 24-21. Let's take a look at our first half numbers, all brought to you by Grand Lake Health Systems.
A good second quarter for the Fort Recovery Indians. They outscored New Bremen by 5, 15-10, to turn a 2-point first quarter deficit into what Dave said is a 3-point margin right now in favor of them. They did so a 9 of 16 from 2-point range, 2 of 4 3-point range, did not attempt any free throws. Overall, they were 11 of 20 from the field, 55%. New Bremen, they were 3 of 10 2-point shooting, 5 of 13 from 3-point range. Likewise, no free throws. Overall, the Cardinals finished from the field 8 of 23 for 34%. For Recovery, I mentioned the no free throws attempted. They had 11 rebounds. Of those were 3 offensive that they put back for a total of 4 second chance points. New Bremen, 11 rebounds also. Of those, 5 were offensive. In that one possession, they got about 4 of them, and they actually came away with points on that last attempt, but that long possession gave them 2 points on that opportunity. And turnovers, each team with 7 individual scoring. Briggs Overman with 10 for the Indians. 6 from Brody Bargy, all in the second quarter. 4 from Gavin Fowler. 2 apiece from Breaker Judy and Rex Leverett. And for New Bremen, 5 from Jackson Leonard, 4 from Keaton Putoff, 3 from the following New Bremen Cardinals: Aaron Tiemann, Rogan Muther, Gavin Qualhorse, and Henry Nelson all have chipped in with a 3-pointer, and that's where we stand as we open up the third quarter.
And our stats brought to you by Grand Lake Health Systems. Fort Recovery will have the basketball to start our third quarter play. Seems like the pace is much more the way Fort Recovery would like to play it.
I would agree, and we talked a little bit. Would New Bremen maybe try to force the issue here a little bit to get it more into track meet? But it's early here in this quarter. Again, just I think 1 foul has been called all game. So it's been a fast-moving, other than the turnovers, but turnovers you can inbounds the basketball a lot quicker than, if you will, with free throw attempts. So it's been a fast-moving first half, and we're into the third quarter.
Inside the basketball goes to Leverett. He'll get it back out to Overman. Overman will handle it against that zone. Comes back out to Troy Holman. They want to get it to the baseline. Leverett shoots it right back out to Holman.
Fort Recovery did some nice jobs, especially in that second quarter, Dave, with ball movement against the Bremen zone defense. Moved it quicker than the Cardinals could react. Great passing, and I think just better placement by the Indians, seeing the gaps, and New Bremen failed about 3 times in a row where they couldn't move quick enough, and Fort Recovery got high percentage shots.
There's the steal by Zeller down low, and that take a lot of time off. And there's an easy layup. Leonards doesn't get it, but the follow-up is by Keaton Putoff, and Putoff now has 6 with a big rebound putback.
Good job by Putoff following, trailing the play. You don't want your friend to miss a shot, but you got to assume, hey, if you miss it, I'm here to follow, and it's exactly what happened. He's able to beat other Indians down the court to secure the 2 points in the Bremen possession following the turnover against the Indians.
Guggenbeller with it in the corner. He'll go inside. Back out they go.
Don't forget, we want to talk about maybe the tournament run here later on, Dave.
That's right. We'll talk about that
at some point.
We can speculate a little bit.
Now that we have everyone on their seats.
That's right. There's a steal by Tiemann. There's the feed, put off, left-handed layup, and New Bremen with 5:42 has taken the lead.
Good start for the Cardinals. They kind of picked the tempo up. One of the reasons they've been able to do that is they've been able to steal the basketball. That's another turnover, 3 in a row.
Muther, layup. Well, they're almost telegraphing the pass.
And that was the same thing when I had the Bremen-Knoxville game here. Almost duplicate. New Bremen came out in the third quarter and just went hog wild on steals and instant offense. That's 4 turnovers for the Indians, and all 4 have been New Bremen buckets.
Tiemann is second in the MAC with steals. Adds to his total and makes an easy basket. He's got 5, and the lead now is at 5 for New Bremen. Outside 3 shot is there by Briggs Overman.
Good answer, much needed basket for the Indians. They have not performed very well in the third quarter.
Leonard's with the rebound. Dumps it off to Zeller. Hayden Zeller. Nice pass, nice shot, and the lead goes back to 4.
Assist by Leonard's, and again, another offensive rebound turned into points. That's 2 offensive rebounds in a quarter for 4 points.
Holman, short jumper. It's going to be a whistle and a foul on Jackson Leonard's.
First free throws of the ball game coming up here for either team. Troy Holman to the line. Just a 43% free throw shooter. We talked about New Bremen's struggles at the line. As a team, they're shooting 55%. For recovery as a team, 56%.
Holman will connect. That's his first point of the night. Holman, what is that, 44% from the line?
Yeah, 43, 44. I rounded. I said, if you don't get 44, it's still 43. You're rounding up to make it look better. But he looked like a better shooter there. He goes 2 for 2, more importantly, and
cuts that lead to just 2 points.
But a good start for the Cardinals. Their defense has really caused the energy here in this third quarter. He talked about Coach Stevens. He wanted energy. I don't know. I'm not saying they didn't have it in the first half, but they couldn't capitalize on what they like to do, and that's get turnovers and run.
Zeller with the offensive board. He'll put it up and in off the Keaton put-off miss.
3 offensive rebounds in a quarter now for 6 points. So New Bremen, kind of a totally almost different performing team here in the third quarter than what we saw the first 2 quarters of the first half.
Evers shot no good. Rebound, hustle there by Tiemann, tosses it in. Troy Holman inside the free throw line, shot no good. Zeller dumps it off to Muther. Cardinals are going to run. Putoff puts it off the glass. It doesn't fall.
You said the key word, Cardinals are going to run. They've been much more up and down here because of the points in transition, and have capitalized and have a 4-point lead now. As for recovery, I think would like to kind of, again, try to slow it down, get a bucket here of this possession.
Leverett, nice move inside. Rex Leverett, 6'4" senior. He's got 4 points.
Nice drive to the baseline, squared her shoulder at the end to make sure he got a good angle at the basket off the bank shot.
Zeller takes the pass from Tiemann and puts the shot up and draws the foul. Hayden Zeller will go to the free throw line.
Foul on Rex Leverett, 2 free throws for Zeller, a 63% free throw shooter, one of the better shooters for the Cardinals. Again, they come in at 55%. Zeller's at 63 for the 6'5" senior.
3:01 to go in that First National Bank Think First scoreboard. Third quarter action from the Nest in New Bremen, 34-31. Now it's a 4-point New Bremen lead at 35-31, and Zeller has 6. Well, the Cardinals just have real nice balance here tonight.
Yeah, a lot of people cashing in on the offensive end.
Zeller had the rebound, and he's going to be fouled, so the ball will be New Bremen's.
14. I'm sorry, go ahead. I was saying a 14-7 run here to open up the quarter for the Cardinals for New Bremen, and we still have just under 3 minutes to go, but a totally different style of pace, if you will, here in the third quarter than we saw in the first two.
Teeman is out front. Inside, Zeller shot no good. He took the pass from Grant Dickey, number 14. Holman out front. Now it goes over to Overman. Comes into the lane, puts it up. Rebound
by Bussey from his bottom.
Wellhorst with it. Now Zeller. They move it quickly. Bussey open. Shot no good. Bounces long. Bussey tips it away from Bargy. Bargy had that rebound. A double team out front. It's going to be a travel on Quellhorst. And that brings a little bit of fire of language from the New Bremen bench. Muther will come back in. Zeller will go out. Clock goes under 2 minutes. Overman with it. 4-point New Bremen lead. Fort Recovery just being so patient with the basketball.
And they're only down 4, so they don't need to, they can still play their style and be deliberate. Last time they had the ball, we saw Overman kind of take it like almost a running back off right tackle to the basket as he ran through a player. It was kind of an aggressive, a little bit of a forced effort, but they've been pretty disciplined tonight. When they're throwing the ball away, it's not disciplined, but when they've held on to it, they've really milked the clock, and especially in the first half, have had some great opportunities to score. And here's that rule where, now I wonder, it kind of depends if the defense, what was the call there? If it's deflected out of bounds, I don't know why the ball wasn't taken out where the defense knocked it out. Did they kick it?
I thought it was just the defense knocked it out. I didn't see the kick.
Usually if the ball gets knocked out by the defense, it goes where it's at. But if they kick the ball or commit a foul, then you get it up at that 28-foot mark. So it is what it is. Fort Recovery doesn't care as Evers cashes in with his first bucket of the game.
Evers with the basket. Lead Cardinals is at 2. Well, that's what had to have happened because they moved the ball out.
They definitely
had to have been kicked.
Something, or a violation, either a foul or a kick.
Teeman hits it. Aaron Teeman cranks it home, and the lead goes to 5.
That matches the Cardinals' biggest lead of the ball game. Teeman with 2 3-pointers tonight.
Fort Recovery turnover. Now, this is, in my mind, this becomes a big possession for New Bremen. 5-point lead, 47.6 seconds. So let's see what the Cardinals do.
Yeah, they get a bucket here, then it's a basket. A field goal puts them up by either 7 or 8. So now you're 3 possessions away if you're Fort Recovery, and then that style of being deliberate, you still got time, but you have to be a little bit more aggressive.
Put off. Took the lob, tried to put it off, a little bit off balance.
And he also commits the foul. I think a lot of those times we call them frustration fouls. He had a great chance. It wasn't an easy shot, catch, and try to do it all at once, but he went aggressively after the rebound, picks up his first foul.
Grant Dickey put the pass there, but here come the Indians. Turnaround jumper, drops home. That's Gavin Evers picks up his second basket.
Back-to-back field goals made by Gavin Evers, a 6'1 junior.
Quellhorst into put-off. Back over to Bussey. Bussey looking for put-off to roll, but he'll push it back out to Dickey. Ball is loose. Bargy and Bussey on the baseline. Let's see who the call is going to be on.
Bargy picks up his 3rd foul for Fort Recovery.
6'4 freshman is guilty of the foul. Shot from in front of the New Bremen bench by Quellhorst at the buzzer. off target. So we go to our fourth quarter of play. Our score, New Bremen 38, Fort Recovery 35. You're watching high school basketball on NK Telco Sports.
Hi, I'm Mallory. My grandpa's been making the world's worst pizza for 30 years. That doesn't look like the world's worst pizza. Grandpa, I know why they call you Chunky Bob. It's because you use chunky ingredients on your pizza.
Of course, it's not because I'm fat.
Grandpa, this is the world's best pizza. Keyhole Pizza, come check Grandpa out.
Dine in or carry out.
New Bremen with a 3-point lead and the basketball as we begin the final 8 minutes of regulation.
New Bremen took advantage of your opportunities, Dave, in the third quarter. They scored 17 points as Tiemann misses a 3, but got a bunch of those off of turnovers that they scored, and they're going to have another one here.
Tiemann with the steal. It might be number 1 in the MAC before this night's over.
Well, they had
steals.
4 steals in a row. They got to start the third. They got 2 to start the fourth.
Almost had another one there, but Fort Recovery somehow regroups. The two teams exchange turnovers. On the floor, Zeller goes for it.
Timeout, Fort Recovery.
Let's see who they give the timeout. Fort Recovery, timeout. Timeouts all brought to you by Precision Strip this season. 40-35, New Bremen with the lead. I'd like to remind you replays of tonight's high school varsity basketball action on NK Telco Cable or the NKT.TV app. On channel 151, February the 26th at 6 p.m. and channels 3 and 503, March 8th at 12 p.m. and March 9th at 10 a.m. You can also watch games live via pay-per-view through nktelco.com/sports. More games on demand through YouTube, Facebook, and at nktelco.com/sports. I'd like to thank our live view sponsor tonight, Speedway Lanes. If you're watching us live here on NK Telco Sports, thanks for joining us. Fort Recovery with a 5-point deficit, looking at an aggressive New Bremen defense as they start out the final 7 minutes of play. Outside shot, Guggenbiller bounces long, comes back out to Holman. Guggenbiller wants to get it inside Leverett. Short jumper, no good. Tiemann with a rebound. Tiemann up court. It's going to take it to the hoop. Aaron Tiemann. Outstanding play by Tiemann. He has 12.
He's done a nice job. He's created some steals. He scored off them. He gets a rebound, goes coast to coast, finishes with that one. So he's had a great second half of scoring here and defensive plays.
Bargy will connect. Gets the pass from Guggenbiller. Down low they go to Zeller. Zeller makes his move. Tries to get it over to Lenart's. Going to go out of bounds. Briggs Overman will come back into the lineup.
Don't forget about our tees with the tournament bracket situation.
That's right. We'll have to do that here shortly.
Okay.
The game will be over.
It's been moving right along. Another turnover, a foul.
Foul right on the Cardinals.
Zeller.
That'll be his first.
And in Bremen, really not any foul trouble. Brody Bargy, though, for Fort Recovery, the number 32, 6'4" freshman, has 3 fouls. But every possession is important, I think, in a game. But here with 6 minutes to go, Fort Recovery, this 5-point deficit, it's been lingering around there. They just don't want to give Bremen a chance to go up by 3 possessions.
Overman's shot is long. Zeller hustles after the rebound. Tiemann races up court. He'll go to his left, stops. There's going to be a block on Troy Holman. Clock will stop at 5:47.
First foul on on Holman.
Number 30, another freshman at 6'4", Breaker Judy will come in for Fort Recovery. Lenartz takes the inbounds pass. Brogan Muther comes into the lane, left-handed shot, puts it up and in.
Nice move. You could almost see him set up the defender that way. The defender was overplaying, and when Muther got into the pivot about or the paint a couple steps, he had it set up. The defender was already overplaying, made it for a simple reverse drop step and a good finish by Muther with his left hand.
I think the ball's kicked there by Putoff.
So now to go to the 28-foot line. That's where it's a violation, so Fort Recovery doesn't get stuck down in the corner a little bit trying to get the ball inbounded. They get to come up to like the 28-foot line and have a little bit of space then to get it in.
Ball is loose. Turnover Fort Recovery. Muther, easy bucket. Boy, he gets clobbered afterwards.
He'll feel that one for a little bit. But again, points in transition off of turnovers has been key for the Bremen Cardinals here in the second half. I don't have official numbers, but it's in double figures because the first 4 points of the half, or first 4 possessions, I think, for New Bremen were field goals off of 4 straight Fort Recovery turnovers.
And we're at a 9-point lead with 5:10 to go. Muther, free throw, no good, so it stays there. Leverett with a rebound. Here comes Holman. He'll go inside, and there's going to be a foul. That's going to be on Lenartz as Gavin Fowler takes it inside.
Lenartz his second foul, and free throws coming up for number 23, Gavin Fowler. 54% free throw shooter on the season, his first 2 of the night.
Free throws critical, and he finds the net.
5th point of the ball game. Fowler had 4 points in the first quarter. Gets his 5th point here in the third.
Bussey comes back into the lineup for New Bremen as Zeller catches a breather. Second free throw good as well. He's got 6, 7-point New Bremen lead. Tiemann with the basketball. Back over to Muther. Putoff. Out front, Bussey. Rebound, Troy Holman. Tiemann goes for the steal. Ball is loose. Bussey has it. Holman goes after it. Lenartz up court. Tiemann puts it on the floor and will draw the foul.
Call a block foul. Boy, we've seen Tiemann be very aggressive. He's able to not only shoot a 3-pointer from a couple of steps beyond the arc, but not afraid to take it inside and go at the defender, basically force the referee to blow the whistle, make contact, and he's rewarded with free throws here. 60% shooter on the season as Tiemann, his first of the game.
Talking about the tournament. With 4.5 minutes to go.
Do you have something that you want to share with us?
New Bremen will play Ridgemont on February the 28th.
At
Ridgemont, okay. And Ridgemont obviously the higher seed. And I would say the Ridgemont Golden Gophers 14-7. Shot will roll home 14-7. And 5-3 in their conference play. And it's a good time for this discussion as we get a timeout brought to you by Precision Strip. So New Bremen, I would think, would have a good opportunity to beat Ridgemont. It's a logical, given the different leagues that they play in, competition that they play in, even though Ridgemont is the higher seed and they are playing at home. New Bremen would have, especially if they're playing as well as they are tonight, a good chance to move on in the tournament, which would be March the 1st. Now, their bracket opposite them is Upper Scioto Valley, which is the number 5 seed at 13-8, unbeaten in their conference play, which means nothing at this point in the season. We'll play Fort Recovery. Fort Recovery is the number 9 seed. Now, that is up at Upper Scioto Valley, which would be a very difficult place for Fort Recovery to play, but Fort Recovery owns an 11-point win against Upper Scioto Valley during the regular season.
Was that game home or at McGuffey?
I do not know for sure.
They did win by 11, so you're saying, well, they have a chance to beat the Rams.
So the odds are good, which would do what? Next Friday
matchup.
we would be playing here
two.
because New Bremen would be the higher seed if they beat Upper Scioto Valley.
No, if Bremen beats Ridgemont and Fort Recovery beats Upper, both these MAC schools are the lower seeds, so wins by them could give New Bremen and Fort Recovery a matchup right back here at New Bremen on Friday.
That's right. We could be right back here on Friday again with the same game.
That's why we talked earlier. What do you want to show them? I don't know. Maybe, I don't know how much that happens. You play each game, I think, to win, and you do your best. If you got a trick play or something, maybe you hold it, but I don't know. You could see
it's just kind of an interesting scenario as you look at that tournament bracket, and it's not unrealistic to think that could not happen. Now, Fort Recovery playing at Upper Scioto Valley, I think that's a tough one. Well, both teams have got to win on the road, and those two schools have not played a lot of home tournament games in recent years, if my memory is correct. So that'll be a big environment for both the MAC schools to pull off victories. So Tiemann
left early. I think he knew his shot was off. He, I think, crossed the free throw line before the ball hit the rim. Shooters can't do that because he exploded off to the left because he knew he was missing it. So the quick whistle and violation.
7-point difference in this one. 3 minutes and 47 seconds. First National Bank Think First scoreboard.
So there's your tournament
that's
possibilities.
That's kind of that's a reasonable possibility, I think.
Yeah, it's not unrealistic, and you'd think there's a good chance, 50-50, 60-40, I don't know, there's a chance.
Well, everything in these tournaments in the early rounds is so predictable. I mean, for the most part, because of the system that they've got in place now. You got for the most part, it's a really high seed against a low seed, or low seed, and it's very difficult.
But here, when you have New Bremen, we talked about their record, 8-13 on a season. Though they've lost 9 games by less than 5, or with games 5 points or less. So, those are winnable games, and their record, I think, they're probably the best 8-13 probably in the state.
That's definitely in the area. That's for sure. Free throws are going down tonight for the Cardinals, and the lead is at 9 points.
Yeah, New Bremen's shot very well tonight, much higher than their 55%.
Varsity gets it over to Overman. Looked one way, through the other, and Overman will put it up and in. He's got 15. Quellhorst, beautiful pass back to Zeller.
Looked like the Harlem Globetrotters, and how the touch pass is the baseball pass down to Quellhorst and then to Zeller.
Guggenbiller's 3, no good. Rebound, Tiemann. Tiemann across the timeline. Pushes it over to Zeller. His shot is short. Bussey with the rebound. He's stuck in traffic.
Good call to avoid maybe the 3-second violation.
Stevens with the timeout. It's a full timeout, so we'll take a break with 2:52 to play. New Bremen 52, Fort Recovery 43. You're watching high school basketball on NK Telco Sports. Two minutes and 52 seconds remain. I'm Dave Helmstetter. With me tonight, Jeff Enchin. New Bremen and Fort Recovery at an MAC contest from the nest here in New Bremen. Cardinals with the basketball, 9-point lead. Trying to put this one away against, I guess you'd say, a stubborn Fort Recovery team.
Yeah, they made it difficult for New Bremen as there's a turnover on the dribble. But here in that second half, we talked about halftime. What do you think New Bremen's going to do? I mean, they picked up the pace of play because of creating turnovers. They got instant offense and transition, and it kind of rattled Fort Recovery a little bit, forced them to do some things they don't like to do, and that's maybe make quick decisions against a lengthy athletic defense, and it turned into Cardinals' favor instantly in that third quarter, a 17-11 advantage, and they've just added to it here in the fourth. And now you see Fort Recovery much more in a panic mode because time an issue, and you're down by 9. So you've got to get some offense. You've got to get moving pretty quick.
Leverett will connect. A couple of threes like that can put you right back in it in today's basketball world.
Well, that definitely helps the Indians as Leverett hits his 10th of the season, his first of the ball game. So it's not over yet with 2:11 to play.
And the basketball will go to Fort Recovery, possession arrow favoring the Indians.
4th New Bremen turnover of the quarter, their 6th of the half, 13th of the ball game.
Holman back over to Bargy. Leverett. Guggenbiller in the corner. They'll get it. There's the steal. Put off. Puts it up and in. I tell you, Keaton Putoff is having a pretty nice game as well. He's got 10.
Yeah, the 6'3" senior has been very active. He's been the beneficiary of some points in transition. He's also created some of that activity.
Jackson Lenartz will come back into the lineup, and Bussey will go out. Inbounds pass, Guggenbiller. Back out to Overman. He goes inside against Lenartz. Jumper no good. Bargy with that rebound.
Well, good job battling the Indians, getting an offensive look. Now they do stop the clock with a minute 37, but you do need to knock down these free throws to come away, with points in this possession, trailing by 8.
A couple of subs coming in for Fort Recovery. Gavin Faller and number 30's Breaker Judy.
Bargy now with 7 points. I'm sorry, 9 points. He had 6 in the second quarter. He has 3 here in the fourth.
And the freshman goes into double figures. 6-point difference. Fort Recovery applying the full court pressure.
Fort Recovery does have 5 team fouls, so any foul will put New Bremen on the foul line.
Tiemann has it. Clock at a minute 25. Tiemann, he'll handle it against Holman. Dumps it off. Lenartz, easy bucket.
Assist Tiemann. Troy Holman gambled trying to get the reach around tip away. Instead, Holman misses. Tiemann delivers, and Lenartz finishes.
Guggenbiller back out to Holman. Got a timeout, Fort Recovery. Timeouts brought to you by Precision Strip. Our score, New Bremen 56, Fort Recovery 48. You're watching high school basketball on NK Telco Sports. Fort Recovery with the basketball, looking at an 8-point deficit.
60 seconds to play in 1 timeout, so not favorable circumstances for the Indians. More importantly, they got to find a way to score.
Overman goes inside, shot blocked by Jackson Leonards.
I think that he had 19 blocks coming in on the season. That for sure is his 20th, but unfortunately for the Cardinals, lose it out of bounds off the turnover, so the Indians new life with 51 seconds to play.
Holman will inbound it. Leverett, ball knocked out of bounds there by Tiemann. And Troy Holman from the far corner will toss it in.
Of course, open look. Guggenbiller didn't pull the trigger.
Overman will. Shot is short. Rebound put off. Outlet to Tiemann. He'll wait till Holman comes up on him and then has that opening to the basket. Shot blocked by Bargy. Leverett up court. Guggenbiller for three. Connects. Timeout for recovery. 27.8 seconds. 56-51. Bremen with a 5-point lead.
And that is the last timeout for the Indians, so they're going to have to foul quickly, hope New Bremen misses, and come down and score ASAP to force New Bremen to get the ball back into bounds and foul again. Now, we talked about before the game even, and during the game, New Bremen not a very good free throw shooting team, so you do have that somewhat advantage that you hope percentages kind of go in your favor for Fort Recovery. So
yeah, you look at free throw percentage, New Bremen 55%. And Fort Recovery, on the other hand, you're looking at, well, overall field goal percentage. Three-point field goals, they're only 23%. So.
And you about got to get a three somewhere quickly. I mean, a quick two wouldn't hurt you if New Bremen misses free throws, but you're down by 5, so you just run out of time. So one of those attempts quickly has got to be a three. So percentages aren't really in Fort Recovery's favor, if you will, to knock down a triple, but those are just numbers. This is the game.
Zeller gets it inside to Muther. Muther fouled immediately there by number 14, Gavin Evers.
Muther, 51% on the season. I think he's over 1. He missed the end of the three-point play opportunity here earlier, so it doesn't take much time, just 25 seconds left.
Muther at the line. He's got 9 points in the night. Trying to find double figures with a made free throw.
Well, that's one break the Indians needed. They got the missed free throw. Now they need to hope for another one and make sure they grab the rebound. There's only one Bremen player there to challenge.
He connects. He has 10 on the night. 6-point. New Bremen lead. Holman. Back over to Overman. Ball goes to the corner for three. It's there. Guggenbiller. Court length pass. It's loose. Fort Recovery has it.
The tie.
Guggenbiller.
Open.
Overman for the tie.
Got it.
We're tied at 57. Timeout. New Bremen. At the buzzer. No one recognized the timeout.
Wow.
Coach Corey Stevens is furious. He wanted a timeout and no one gave it to him. And just like that, Fort Recovery strikes. What do you think, Jeff?
Now it's going to be 10 games that you've been involved with that you might have had a chance if you lose this one because you just mentioned earlier with a couple minutes ago, Fort Recovery just wouldn't go away. I forget what word you used, nuisance or a younger brother, stubborn, there you go. And they needed a lot of things to go right, and they got exactly what they needed. New Bremen missed free throws, or at least one of two. That kept the possession where they needed it, and 2 3-pointers, I believe it got it down by Guggenbiller and by Overman. The last one by Overman to tie.
And the inbounds pass, the one inbounds pass, Bargy just basically had his back to the ball, and it was intended, I think, for put-off.
And it was underthrown.
And it just hit him.
Yeah.
And it bounced right back in, and Fort Recovery got the shot. So what a wild finish to this one. We're going to overtime.
Yeah. Well, we
Did I
thought you
predict
thought
that?
I said it when you mentioned how fast this game was going, even with senior night. Make sure we have enough time in our recording. We do. It's only 10 till 9. But yeah, a wild finish here at New Bremen. As you kind of felt, you even told me, I just have a feeling it's going to be a wild one tonight.
Yeah, the end of these games late in the season in New Bremen, it just seems to have a special touch. Let's see if the Cardinals can climb out of this after somehow losing a 6-point lead. Well, it was more than that, actually.
It was 9 with a minute to go. 9 points with a minute to go. It was 56 to 48. Maybe it was 8-point lead, I should say. So I think 8 was the biggest lead.
Team and turnaround, he connects. But the whole thing is, Coach Stevens was calling for a timeout before the inbounds pass, and no one gave it to him, which would allow him to set that last play up.
Well, basketball is a game of breaks, one way or the other, and that's give Fort Recovery credit. They got the door wasn't quite shut, and they were able to put their foot in there and wiggle and jam it open to knock down 2 triples.
To me, it's just amazing how the officials know where the coach is at all times, but when he's trying to call a timeout there,
and
no one knows
and
it.
you're kind of thinking, well, as an official, you know that they might want a timeout because, I mean, are you trying to think of it, or you really have to make sure you hear it, or do you anticipate and you always are looking for it? Well, they must not have seen it because they didn't call it.
Ullman off target on the free throw. 59-57, First National Bank Think First scoreboard, 2-point lead, 3:11 to go. Overtime number 1, rebound. Comes down to Tiemann. 2-point New Bremen lead. Into the lane, Tiemann, short jumper. Shot no good, Zeller will grab the rebound. Timeout, Cardinals. That'll be a 30-second timeout. That'll give us an opportunity to thank all of the sponsors for tonight's game. First National Bank, Keyhole Pizza, Precision Strip Winners Meats, Grand Lake Health Systems, Speedway Lanes, and NK Telco. Other sponsors of tonight's Overtime Classic from New Bremen, Carriage Works, Chiltech LLC, Cy Schwedeman, Dickman Supply, Elmwood Assisted Care, Hometown Opportunity, Hillsman Automotive, Kogi Plumbing and Heating, Lincoln Electric, Minster Bank, New Knoxville Supply, SecureCom, Butts Chrysler Dodge Jeep, Crown Equipment, Shelby County Veteran Services, St. Henry Bank, and our good friends at WCSM Radio. Muther inbounds it to Zeller right in front of the basket. Turnaround shot, no good. Bargy with a rebound. 2:50 to play.
For what it's worth, with 2:52, ironically, Dave, in the fourth quarter, New Bremen called a timeout with 2:52 to play in the ball game. They led 52-43. So a 14-4 run by the Indians in the final 2:52, forced overtime. But 9 was the biggest lead. I don't think New Bremen ever got in double figures.
Well, the last 3 three-pointers from Fort Recovery were incredible, but the last 2 were almost miracle shots as they try to get it inside and put off with the steal. I mean, you're talking, bedlam, chaos out on the court, and nobody thinking this shooting.
Yep.
And the result is good for Fort Recovery.
You don't have to do it again. You just have to do it that one time.
That's right.
And they got it done.
Lenart's working hard inside, pushes it out to Zeller. Got a 2-point lead. We'll take our time. Muther. Tiemann. He'll handle it out front. They'll try and double team him. They'll get it inside to put off. He gets it over to Zeller. Minute 55. Boy, it's just a chess match, isn't it?
It is. And, well, they're going to force a turnover.
Ball is loose. Everybody's diving for it.
Stays with
Muther gets it. Zeller has it in the corner, back out. Clock coming up on a minute 40.
Holman's doing a nice job right now not letting Tiemann get the basketball back. Tiemann hasn't touched it in a while, and you've seen some, not that New Bremen hasn't turned it over, but Tiemann can make a lot of stuff happen. And Holman did a nice job not letting him touch it, but the Cardinals do pick up a personal foul and will go to the foul line as Overman picks up his first foul.
And Rogan Muther will step to the free throw line. Connects. He's got 11.
2 for 4 from the line now, all here in the fourth quarter.
4 players in double figures as I look at the scoreboard for the Cardinals. Second free throw is good by Muther. That's some big free throws there.
3 for 5, and more importantly, a 4-point lead with under a minute and a half.
Overman double team. Holman has it. Puts it over to Leverett, open for a good look. Shot does not go. Rebound Zeller. Tiemann gets it up to Muther. Muther's gonna be patient with the basketball. Overman on him.
With the overtime, each team gets added a timeout. So for recovery, mentioned in regulation, we're down to 0. Had none. They do have 1 timeout now in the fourth quarter that you're granted when it goes to overtime.
Bargy with the push on Leonards. 57.7 seconds. Bargy's going to foul out. And Evers will come in here in just a moment. I often wonder why the coaches, and I don't know, maybe the rule is no longer there, don't wait until they make that substitute after somebody is fouled out. Because they can wait X number of seconds.
I think a minute or 30 seconds.
30 seconds, I think it is.
To kind of use it as a give the shooter time to think. Yeah. Of course, you don't want to wait too long and be assessed some technical foul or a referee that's whistle happy.
Second free throw, no good.
Oh, they're going to get it back.
They're going to get it back as it goes off Leverett.
Zeller ran it down and got it to go off of Leverett. So a break for the Cardinals after missing the 2 free throws. Fort Recovery can't secure the defensive rebound.
Fort Recovery coach Bob Leverett tried to plead his case, but to no avail. Back into Tiemann. There you see the clock. We're coming up on 50. Inside layup, Jackson Leonards. Boy, Tiemann comes up with a big-time assist. Guggenbiller, not this time. Rebound, Leverett. Overman has it. 35 seconds. Overman's going to be fouled.
That's going to be what the Indians need. This should be free throws.
Briggs Overman at the free throw line. He'll connect. 63-58. Overman with 19 points. Going for 20 here. He'll connect. 4-point difference. Muther across the timeline.
Couldn't catch him to get the contact. There they get Zeller.
And Zeller will go to the line.
He is 4 for 4 from the line. He's one of the better shooters on the squad at 63% coming into tonight's game, and add that to that total now 4-4 tonight, all in the second half. He hit 2 in the third and 2 in the fourth.
Aiden Zeller, he connects.
11 points for the senior.
Senior night here at New Bremen. 6 of them are going out in fine style. Second free throw is good.
12 points, all in the second half for Hayden Zeller.
Leverett fires it up. Shot doesn't go. Rebound Tiemann. Clock at 18. Tiemann still not fouled. He'll come all the way up. Misses the shot. I think he thought he was going to get fouled by the time he got that far up. Overman for 3. Shot doesn't go. Tiemann is in there again. And they're going to call it travel. So Holman will toss it in. Goes back out to Overman, puts the shot up, no good. Rebound Holman, shot no good, and it's over. Cardinals wrap up the regular season with a nail biter. 65-59. Cardinals win in overtime. New Bremen will go to 9-13 overall and 4-5 in MAC play. Fort Recovery falls to 7-15 and 1-8 in conference play. As this one came right down to the wire, and New Bremen survives what really is a miracle rally by the Fort Recovery Indians at the end of a regulation when they hit 3 consecutive three-point shots to force this game into overtime. I'd like to thank all of our sponsors for tonight's game from the Nest here in New Bremen. First National Bank, Keyhole Pizza, Precision Strip, Winners Meats, Grand Lake Health Systems, Speedway Lanes, and NK Telco. Our scoreboard sponsor tonight, First National Bank. Keys to the game, Keyhole Pizza. Timeout sponsor, Precision Strip. Our player of the game, which we'll be announcing here shortly, brought to you by NK Telco. And also our halftime and post-game statistics brought to you by Grand Lake Health Systems. That's coming up here also in just a moment. Our live view sponsor, Speedway Lanes. Other sponsors for tonight's game, Carriage Works, Chiltech LLC, Cy Schwederman, Dickman Supply, Elmwood Assisted Care, Hometown Opportunity, Hillsman Automotive, Kogi Plumbing and Heating, Lincoln Electric, Minster Bank, the Knoxville Supply, SecureCom, Bud's Chrysler Dodge Jeep, Crown Equipment, Shelby County Veteran Services, St. Henry Bank, and WCSM Radio. All bring you today's game from the Nest here in New Bremen. NK Telco Sports and its sponsors are pleased to bring you replays of tonight's high school varsity basketball action on NK Telco Cable or the NKT.TV app, channel 151, February the 26th at 6 p.m. Channels 3 and 503, March the 8th at 12 p.m. and March the 9th at 10 a.m. You can also watch games live via pay-per-view through nktelco.com/sports and more games on demand through YouTube, Facebook, and at nktelco.com/sports. Of course, end of the regular season means it's tournament time. New Bremen will play at Mount Victory against Ridgemont, the Golden Gophers, on the 28th of February. Gophers are the higher seed at number 4. It's a 7 o'clock start. Cardinals and Ridgemont on the 28th. Also in the other bracket, Upper Scioto Valley, the number 5 seed at 13-8 and 8-0 in their conference, the Northwest Central Conference, will face the Fort Recovery Indians, the number 9 seed. And then, as we were talking during today's broadcast earlier, the winners of those two brackets will meet next Friday, March 1st at 7 o'clock, and conceivably New Bremen and Fort Recovery could again meet right here in New Bremen if Cardinals and the Indians pull off their wins in sectional tournament to start their tournament trail. Let's go to our final numbers here, all brought to you by Grand Lake Health Systems.
Thank you, Dave, for the game for the Fort Recovery Indians. They finished 15 of 32 from two-point shooting, 7 of 19 from three-point shooting overall. The Indians 22 of 51 from the field. New Bremen finishes 18 of 34 from two-point shooting, 6 of 8 three-point shooting overall. The Cardinals 24 of 42 from the field, for over 50% from the field. Free throws, Fort Recovery 8 of 10. New Bremen finishes very good for them, 11 of 17. That included 9 of 15 in the fourth quarter and overtime. Cardinals finished 11 of 17. Rebounding margin, or rebounding, Fort Recovery 24 rebounds, of which 9 were offensive. Didn't capitalize on any in the second half for second chance points, finished with 4 points in the second chance opportunities. For New Bremen, 29 rebounds, of which 11 were offensive, and they really made those pay off in the third quarter. A good start. They had 3 trips in a row, or 3 times in a row, where the Cardinals got offensive rebounds, put them back for points. For 6 in the third, they finished the game with 8 second chance points. Turnovers, for Recovery 18, and New Bremen 14. Individual scoring for the Indians, Briggs Overman, 20 points. 10 from Brody Bargy, 6 from Reese Guggenbiller, 2 from Troy Homan, 9 from Rex Leverett, 4 from Gavin Evers, 6 from Gavin Fowler, and 2 from Breaker Judy, their total of 59. For New Bremen, 16 from Tiemann, 10 from Keaton Putoff, 12 from Rogan Muther, 12 from Hayden Zeller, 9 from Jackson Leonards, 3 from Gavin Qualhorst, and 3 from Henry Nelson, their total of 65.
And our statistics all brought to you by Grand Lake Health Systems. And that moves on to our player of the game. And lots of choices here in tonight's game. Lots of steals, lots of
everything.
Good free throw shooting. And somehow a miracle end for Fort Recovery in the fourth quarter with 3 3-pointers. I think you're going to have to go watch the replay to see what really happened.
Yes, exactly. I didn't see it coming, and really thought New Bremen had it in regulation. And Fort Recovery, again, didn't let New Bremen shut the door, and they stayed alive. Now they lose it in overtime, but a good comeback. And to get on with our player of the game, a number of Bremen players had impacts tonight. A lot of them contributed, but we're going to go with Hayden Zeller tonight, a 6'5 senior. What impressed me is all of his 12 points came in the second half when New Bremen really came from behind at halftime and exploded. 12 of his points. He was a perfect 6 of 6 from the foul line. He was 3 of 5 or 3 of 6 from the field, so pretty good shooting. But the free throws, I think, really helped his team, with the offense and the good shooting there, as the Cardinals do prevail and earn their 9th win. So congratulations to Hayden Zeller, our NK Telco player of the game.
Yep, one of 6 seniors playing their, I'm not going to say playing their final home game.
Yeah, because it might come back. Yep.
But it was senior night, and a very nice end to senior night for the 6 New Bremen
all
seniors.
6 seniors score. Remember, Henry Nelson got a 3-point basket in the first quarter. Zeller finishes with 12. Zach Wiedemann did not score, but did get the start. And Keaton Putoff with 9. Leonards with 9, Putoff with 10, and Tiemann with 16. Seniors really had a big hand in this victory tonight.
And all of them, really all of them played some contributing roles. Tiemann, Leonards, Putoff. When Putoff was out front on defense, that created some of the problems on the wings.
Yes.
And that allowed Tiemann and Rogan Muther to get some big steals.
And just like it looked identical to the New Knoxville game I did here. Third quarter was just turnover. Muther, I think, had 12 points or 10 in the third quarter, all on transition opportunities off steals.
Well, that's going to do it for us here from the Nest in New Bremen. Once again, the Cardinals in overtime. They defeat Fort Recovery 65-59. I'm Dave Helmstetter, with me, Jeff Henchen. You've been watching high school basketball on NK Telco Sports.